Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Ratio1 Talks. My name is Mihai, and today we are joined by Petrica, Vitalii, and very soon Andrei. He will join us in a short while. But welcome on in, everyone. Hope you're all good. Today we have another fun topic. But I would also like to mention that we also have a question from the community. We'll save that for a little bit later, just so more people can tune in and check it out. But yeah, let's jump in the subject today. 3 simple letters. CSP. Now, I would like to invite Vitalii. You have the microphone today. Let's start with the quiz. Can you tell us what SCP stands for? What is it?
Oh wow! Sorry, I didn't get the question. Could you
It's
please?
okay. What does CSP stand for?
Oh, CSP. Let me think. It's a very good question, very tough one because CSP. Let me think. Oh, what could it be? I think CSP is something very important for Ratio1 ecosystem, and those are the basic builders of Ratio1. So they are cloud service providers who feed the network with their nodes and who bring their clients to use Ratio1.
Exactly. Correct. Well, 10 points to you. Right. So that is the topic for today. We have, of course, the CSPs. We have them participating. We have them bringing, of course, clients and data to the network that gets, of course, spread out throughout the nodes, keeping everything all secure. But let's go into a deeper dive in this topic. And now we're passing the mic to Petrica. So let's branch off of that. So why is it so important? Why are they like so vital to this entire ecosystem?
So it's important to understand, first of all, that we thought about Ratio1 as being more oriented towards a B2B approach, meaning that this is a better solution if you want to have a better adoption chance. Because if you aim to, I don't know, just go for individuals, for clients, okay, you can stand a chance to get some clients, but why not having more people actually gathering clients for the protocol? So think about like this: you can have one engine running for the protocol, or you can have and try to put all your effort into that engine to make it run, the protocol run, or you can actually get a lot of engines that all of them work for the protocol to get adoption. So this is why we needed a B2B approach and an approach that is based on a franchise a model. So every CSP becomes basically a user of this franchise, and they become actually advocates, ambassadors of the Ratio1 protocol, and they on their own businesses try to bring to get clients for their business. And also this will also translate in the fact that they will get demand and jobs in the protocol based on their clients' needs. So I think this is the most important thing to understand, why we actually don't run for every person and say, okay, you come on Ratio1, you come on Ratio1, and why we actually focus on trying to bring poles of attractions towards Ratio1. This kind of either individuals, either businesses that actually have a lot of cloud of people behind them, and that they can attract them on Ratio1.
Very good. I would also like to say that Andrei, welcome on in. I saw you join us
Hi everyone.
during the discussion. Let's say hello.
Can I add something to what Petrica said?
That was exactly what I was going to invite you to say. So please, Andrei, we're talking about the CSPs and its importance.
Yeah. I know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said that I want to add something. Okay. So it said that first-time founders focus on product. Second-time founders focus on distribution. And I think this, let's say, so-called saying, it's extremely powerful and entirely true. It's almost like a truism. So basically, when you start on your path to entrepreneurship, you consult a product, you get in love with your product, you try to promote your product, to sell it, to expand, whatever. Maybe you get lucky, maybe you don't. But one way or the other, it's usually the first time you become an entrepreneur, you pretty much fail. It's the reality. It's like 99% of the first time founders, they fail at their first gig. Maybe it was something small that they did when they were like 18. Maybe it is something big that they tried at 40. It depends from one person to another. However, the second time you try it, you should already know what's the biggest issue. The biggest issue with a product, with a business, with entrepreneurship, it's scaling your business, distributing the services, growing your business. So this can be done only through distribution. The only way to do it, and especially in software, especially in a platform as a service, software as a service, and especially in our days, distribution is everything. So our main distribution channel is the channel formed by the cloud service providers that basically are able to create their own businesses, totally independent and totally, let's say, on their terms.
Definitely makes sense on that front. And I think that there's also something to be said on the idea that this general technology, the whole idea of decentralized data, of the network itself, of all it being in this cloud network, it's fairly how should I say this? It's not new, but rather it's something that more and more people are aiming towards and adopting and moving towards. And I want to sort of just throw the question of the future of this. Certain big companies, certain companies use large like servers, actually storing the data in large places and in all sorts of that, and are aiming towards branching to this cloud domain. What do you guys think? Do you think the future is going to be all exclusively in sort of decentralized networks in that, or will there still be some sort of utility for hard systems of servers?
You mean? I think I'm not sure I understood the question. So your question is if the future is decentralized, either decentralized or centralized, or centralized and decentralized, or what do you mean hardware? I think I'm missing a point, or maybe you're trying to put together two different points, and I'm missing both of them.
Let me see how I get it. I got it because I think what Mihai wanted to say is that okay, we're working on a decentralized network when it comes about computing power, data storage, and so on. But there's on the other side of the story, there are still the centralized big names and big companies that provide the services in a centralized manner. And his question, I think it was, if I'm not wrong, if there's a future for such companies, or if everything will actually migrate towards being decentralized.
Yes.
So I didn't get the idea with the hardware. I think we have a valid question between centralization and decentralization. So the mere thought that we will go to full decentralization, it's a pipe dream. Okay, it's totally a pipe dream. So it's like a flea is discussing with a mosquito if the elephants and maybe the cats and maybe the humans will go extinct and they will be the only ones left. That's impossible. Everybody and the decentralization will thrive. It's natural. It's something that can't evolve at the way in the way the businesses are evolving, organically evolving on planet Earth as of now. It's impossible not to happen. However, big cloud, big centralized system, big companies will still be there, and frankly, will still own probably more than 50% of the market. Right now, they own 99.999 of the market, basically, right? So if we put all these centralized systems together, everything, Ratio1 being one of them, we cannot reach more than 0.001% of the whole everything. So thinking that from 0.001% we will go to, I don't know, 100%, that's totally pipe dream, okay? So the reality is that probably decentralization of services, decentralization of compute, decentralization of AI, and the whole idea of democratization and your app, your AI, your data will probably be around 30%, 40% tops in probably, let's say, 5 years from now.
And it's also, I mean, for such businesses that nowadays they look and they are actually too big to fail, even if we've seen outages and all kind of problems in the past, they really are too big to fail. I mean, they own most of the hardware on this planet. The availability of hardware is limited. And
I mean, okay, let's face it. What happened with Amazon, it's a huge, don't want to call what it is, right? But you know what I mean. However, if you look at the numbers, if you look at the customers, if you look, and you will see in 1 year from now on, in 6 months from now on, that it will mean almost nothing on their balance sheets.
Yeah. And also, even let's say everybody will ask for decentralization, and even if their clients will ask for decentralization, for them migrating from their centralized approach to a decentralized protocol is like this. I mean, they could spread their hardware on various decentralized protocols, permissionless with trustless, permissioned and trustless as ourselves. They can dig in any decentralized protocol with their hardware. So they are pretty much invincible, if you ask me.
So it would be easy for them to just switch from one to the other, but
they will just change the business model.
I don't think so. I disagree with you, Petrica.
You disagree?
Yes, and let me tell you why I disagree. The whole idea of Amazon, of all the big cloud, or of all the cloud native big players, is that they own the narrative. If they go either permission or permissionless, but they go trustless, and they start doing zero censorship, and they at that point they basically give away all their control. So it's a total paradigm change.
Yeah,
paradigm change.
What I'm saying, Andrei, is if there's a fiction based scenario where everybody wants to be decentralized and they actually don't have clients anymore, let's say,
Okay.
Just make a thought about it. Even if that happened, they own the most hardware on the planet. I mean, they could switch in second into a decentralized protocol.
Question: is this a dystopic future or a utopic future?
This topic.
Dystopic. Why? Why not utopic?
Yeah, maybe it's utopic. Yeah, it's utopic, I think. Yeah.
I mean, if that happened, then decentralized will be like 99%. That's more like utopia for us.
Yeah, it's more like utopia. Yeah, it's utopia.
We are living in a dystopia right now.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's utopic. Yeah, of course, it's utopic. Yeah.
What would it mean for the average everyday person using sort of their clients, let's say for these big companies, if they would do such a switch? Would it just be like under the hood improvements or under the hood changes, or still it would have ripple effects in?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, and the answer is the following: there shouldn't be any visible change other than the fact that you, Mihai, become owner of your data, owner of your content, owner of what you produce. Because what you have right now, it's a mere illusion. You're not owner. YouTube owns your videos. A Dropbox has all your content. Google the same. So it's that simple, right?
Yeah, but the programs actually are, with subscriptions or whatever. So it's a similar.
Yeah, subscription is one thing. I'm talking about your content. I'm not talking about the product. I'm not talking about licenses. Licenses is something totally different. I'm talking about the product of your mind using Windows, Word, Linux, Red Hat, whatever is not the product of your mind. You are trained to do that. However, an article, a movie that you and your brother create, that's your content. It's not YouTube content.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah.
But reality is, if they go out, if they close shop, your content disappears. Does it make sense to you? Yeah, so basically, in terms of ownership, you become owners. In terms of how things move and how well you adjust, there shouldn't be any friction. And by any, I don't mean there should be something like 1% change in the way you interact with systems and everything. No, zero change. The only thing that you have to be aware is that you own the content and you are fully responsible for the content. Because right now, YouTube is also responsible for your content. So if something is wrong with your content, they kind of ban you, block you, stop you, filter you, but they also help you because you can't be held liable if they don't do that. Both you and them can be held liable. So when you go to decentralization, you have the same infrastructure, the same story, the same content. However, you are the only one to be held accountable, to be held liable if something is wrong with your content. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I was just going to add that for the users of centralized environments, when it comes to deployment in cloud and using compute power from cloud, towards I don't know, ratio, let's say Ratio1, because we know for sure how the migration happens. It's like super simple. I mean, we migrated some applications from Amazon or Google, and the migration is super easy. I mean, it's enough to have if you don't want to containerize your application, you can do it with AppRunner, and it's super easy to just have a repo in GitHub, and you just use that repo, and that's it. You have it on Ratio1.
Okay, so Petrica is going from a philosophical discussion to a sales discussion. I see that.
Well, it was a good opening.
Somebody has to sell.
It was a very, very good transition.
Yeah, it's true. That's the whole idea. We are trying to to make everything hidden behind the scenes so that the user doesn't see any kind of tokenization, circular economy stuff. They just see the way things work, the way things are usually happening in big cloud systems, with a very important observation. We have to make things much simpler than they happen in Amazon, in Google, or in Azure. So this is one of our objectives, to make everything much simpler and much straightforward and easier to manage, easier to pay, easier to monitor, easier to just everything.
Yeah, and that's why we have all our blog posts and all our messages, and of course us being available at any point. Everything explaining all the simple steps, all the elements that we have for new node operators and so on. As I think we are nearing the end of today's episode, I want to bring the question from our community, from
Okay.
YouTube. And of course, if anyone has any further questions, please make sure to write them either
Bring it on.
this live. Yes. It's a simple question, very, very short.
We met it pretty often on our group, so.
Sanjaya3216 asked, when list on CEX?
Okay. So I gotta give you my personal opinion. This is strictly my opinion. So for us, the most important focus is constructing a viable business with real world traction and adoption. The reason we launched the token is that the token fuels the entire circular economy. The reason we launched it and the reason we supplied so much liquidity in the DEX was to have a token as, let's say, involatile as possible, if you can have that. However, listing on a checks, it's a totally different animal. Listing on the checks is not about having traction with our decentralized physical infrastructure, with our decentralized platform as a service, with our decentralized AI, with our applications, with our healthcare, cybersecurity, and so on. Listing on a checks is only about liquidity of the token. It's only about let's say, raising awareness on the token. And this is not in our focus right now.
It also facilitates a bit the onboarding. So, for example, if a user has fiat and he wants to and already has some fiat in his CEX account, or if he wants to exchange some of his tokens that he holds on a centralized exchange and wants to use it in the ecosystem, because we'll see in the future there will be some use cases that people will actually use Ratio1 for other more applications, as we will announce soon. So it will be easy for most of them to get the token, especially if they don't know how to use a decentralized exchange, to get it from a centralized one, and they just use it within the protocol applications.
Question: do you think we have users that have like centralized exchange accounts, like on Binance or Kraken, for example? I'm talking about the top tier exchanges. I'm not even talking about the low layer exchanges, and don't have wallets.
Yeah, there are.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
there are.
Because on the other hand, all the users that have accounts on low tier exchanges definitely have wallets.
There are a lot of types of personas when it comes about owners of crypto assets. Most of them, of course, they are in this space and they know what they are investing in and how the technology works. But there are also people that actually own crypto assets even without a centralized exchange. There are people that have bought crypto assets on Revolut before actually having a lot of licenses and so on. Because right now I think Revolut also got a MiCA license, and they are also having some new licenses on the crypto assets, and I think it's getting better and better, and I think it's amazing, to be honest. But some people, they just got numbers in their Revolut account, and without even being able to withdraw them in wallets. So there are a lot of personas when it comes about crypto assets holders. So I wouldn't say there are a lot of them, but still, I mean, for example, if you create an application that requires a certain utility token to be used within the application, I think you need to somehow facilitate. I think there are a lot of centralized exchanges out there, too many if you ask me, but I think it's good that we have some of them to provide these onboarding services for personas that are new to this technology and that should actually skip the step of exchanging in a decentralized exchange, just get the token from the exchange and that's it.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But right now, it's important to see this as something that will come later down the line. But I think listing on an exchange right now is just some dust in the eyes, to be honest. I think it's just marketing, and it wouldn't be used for the purpose of, I don't know, upgrading the onboarding process and easing the experience of people that don't know how to exchange. Right now, people expect actually listing on a centralized exchange just to brag about their token, and maybe somebody will just FOMO in and say, okay, oh, these guys have been listed on Binance. These guys have
exit liquidity.
Yeah. So this is it won't come from us. I mean,
the perpetual hunt for exit liquidity.
Yes, it won't come from us, and I think it's vital for people to know that it will come when certain KPIs, internal KPIs, will be met, and when we will feel that there's a barrier, and a centralized exchange will actually help users to go to beyond the barrier of knowledge and so on.
All right. We will have to sort of end right about now. This was our talk for today. Thank you guys so much for making the time to chat today. The conversation was awesome. And of course, to everyone who is watching, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, make sure to write them in the comments. We do read them, and we will answer them as soon as we can in our talks. So see you all next time.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.